Good morning from the Inglis Easter sales.
It's afternoon anyway, so good afternoon.
Sorry this video's late this week, but we've been very busy.
Extremely busy. It's one of our busiest weeks of the year, but a very important week of the year. Buying some new horses. There's something there for everybody if you've got an interest in a horse.
This is when your hopes and dreams are made.
That's right, so contact us. You'll find us somewhere. And obviously Denise Martin buys a few as well. She can be contacted if you want to go into a syndicate. If you want to go into a Frankel, there's a part of a Frankel for sale too. A little bit more expensive, but might end up being a very cheap horse. Guy Mulcaster, the guru, thought it was the best he's seen for some time, and he thought it looked a lot like Frankel himself, so hence the reason the price tag.
We're not a big spending stable, so it means quite a lot if we are spending that kind of money.
I would say up until now, our highest price would be 700. If we've paid over 700, I don't remember which one it was. I can think of one, I shouldn't say it. Well, don't worry about it. We don't buy many over that anyway. No. But racing's been good. Vassal, an import. One is maiden last Thursday or Friday. Pakenham. Scandal Sheep. Very impressive winner at Geelong. He could be anything, this horse. By shocking, he's just starting to improve. He could be a Derby horse, South Australian Derby, Queensland Derby. Rodrigo, another Derby prospect.
Yeah,
High Chaparral.
Very good win yesterday.
Very good win. Liberty Island won at Wyong.
Yeah, did a good job. Sprinted with a big weight.
Good ride by Hugh Bowman. Hugh Bowman had just about went over the fence there, eh?
Yeah, he did on front seat.
Hugh's had an up and down week.
Yes, hurt his ankle. Won the Doncaster.
Hurt his ankle, we bought a Frankel. It rhymes.
There you go.
There you go.
He'll probably end up riding the Frankel too.
He will be. He might break it in too.
I doubt that.
And of course, last Saturday, we'll start with
Libran, Chairman's Cup.
Chairman's Cup.
Yeah, it is a Chairman's Handicap.
Good win, carrying the big weight. Now the favourite for the Sydney Cup on Saturday. And of course, the mighty Winks. We gave her the status of being a champion.
And she deserved it.
And she deserved it. I thought she was in all sorts of trouble at the half mile in obviously a time-honoured handicap event, and came out on top. Not just, she won by 2 lengths.
Yeah, they burnt all their petrol just trying to get to her tail, and then she just quickened again.
So she's gone for a well-reserved break, being prepared for Sydney and Melbourne during the spring. Which brings us on to this week,
isn't it?
Definitely. It was a tough run last week. She might have won, but I think only her could have backed up and won. It was a pretty tough race, and would have been a big assignment to back up again this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if there's anyone in any doubt, ask any one of our staff. It was amazing to get the support of our staff who spend all the time with the horses, not just Winks's, the not so successful horses as well. They're horse lovers and care for horses, and they were overwhelming in their support, which was fantastic. It meant a lot to me. So thanks to our staff as well as the owners that understood the decision.
Right. Straight on into Saturday, Ladbrokes Park. French Emotion, 1300, Brad Royler.
Where's Sophie gone? Sophie was standing behind the camera,
so we didn't look like Gordons, and now we're looking like Gordons.
Everyone's walking past, seeing us talking to a camera.
Give a wave, let's give him a wave, boys.
Blake Shin, Peter Abel.
Yeah.
Blake Shin's being naughty. He's pulling faces to us. Don't you worry. I think that Blake Shin's been drinking. Yeah. Day before the races.
Should be at Wyong.
2 days before the races. Should be at Wyong. He's in a sales buying horses for his mate Peter Abel. We'll get back to him on Saturday.
Come on.
Right, Melbourne. Let's start at Melbourne.
I've already said this. French Emotion, 1300, Brad Royler.
Going for a
5 in a row. A
5-timer on Saturday. Wide draw to overcome, but Brad Royler aboard. He knows her. He does a great job on her. She's going to be very hard to beat.
Yep. She's Miss Divine, going down to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Hung in going Sydney way.
Yes. And that's what the Sydney stable's great for is not the Sydney, the two stables are great for. It gives you versatility, and it's amazing the amount of horses that just turn the corner with a trip to the Flanagan stable, and vice versa.
Right. Then they've got a long gap to Labdian. Over a mile, Ben Mellon.
Horse should be well worth waiting for. Done a great job this filly. She ran 4th in a Group 2 starts ago, and then 2nd in a Group 3 last start at Moonee Valley. A very good run. She's up in this weight here on Saturday, wide draw, but going very well over a suitable distance of a mile. Got another one in the race?
Yep, Bannatyne, barrier 4.
Bannatyne, well, she's a good example. She was sent down to the Melbourne stable, and I think she herself
went down as a maiden.
She went down as a maiden, won a couple of races, ran 4th in the group race down there, and here she's on Saturday. Needs to improve a little bit. Last start was only fair, but her work's been good. She's drawn a bit closer to the fence. I think that's a big asset to her on Saturday.
Yeah. And in the last, over a mile, the open handicap, Hollywood Bound.
Very
barrier
unlucky.
1.
Very unlucky
First
last start.
emergency as well.
You get a chance to watch the replay. We would put it on while we're talking, but we don't have that technology.
So if you can work on that.
Someone will get it
Mel.
one day. Mel's very good.
Mel,
She's the
she
guru.
can
Yeah, she could surprise us. She might even show us snippets of the Frankel that we just purchased.
With our contact details below.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Right, enough of that.
so Hollywood Bound needs a couple of scratchings to gain a start.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come, because there's a terrific chance.
Ramwick, second day of the championships.
Yes. Might be 3 days next year. The Labor leader, Luke Foley, he had a good chat to us, and he wants to include the West. So good concept, we'll back him.
Yeah.
And it would include the Golden Slipper as the first day of the championships, and make the championships a
As it should be.
3 week affair. Of course it should. No brainer. It's a great concept, but why not make it 3 days? Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm fully behind it.
Well, Charlie's behind it. It'll get.
No, I mean it'll happen, man.
Of course it will.
Right, South Pacific Classic.
Shandana.
1400 Shandana, barrier 18.
If you're going to bet her on Saturday, don't bet. But have a little bet on her in Queensland Oaks. But remember, with pre-post betting, if she doesn't start, you don't get any money back. So you must remember that when you're doing the pre-post betting.
Yeah. So why don't you just back her every start after Saturday, up until the Queensland Oaks?
That's our opinion too. And
Yeah.
gamble responsibly.
Yeah. Please gamble responsibly.
So I don't think she can win on Saturday from that gate over 1400,
but she's very smart.
we think she's a smart filly.
Right.
And we're right 90% of the time.
Well, you are. My tips recently have been woeful. Anyway. Percy Sykes, Gretna, barrier 2, Craig Williams.
She went to Melbourne because she was unbalanced in her Sydney races. She won a race. She should have won a last start as well.
Yeah.
She's coming up to Sydney in great form. Good gate in barrier 2. Let's hope we can use it. I'm all in favour for the rail going at 6 metres. Unfortunately, it's shortened up some of the field sizes, but it does put them in much better ground on Saturday, which hopefully will mean barrier 2's not a disadvantage. Hopefully it's an advantage.
Right, straight into the Arrowfield. Japonisme. Huey.
Last 4 runs have been at Group 1 level. He drops to Group 2 here. He's well placed. He was very unlucky in the William Reid last start, running a 3rd, beaten this far. After sitting 4 wide the entire trip. That was, of course, weight for age. He comes back to his own age. Set weights. He's going to be very hard to beat, as will the stablemate counter-attack.
Winkers off, blinkers on.
Blinkers on. Track rider Chris Harwood's given him the thumbs up and said he's better in the blinkers, so that's a plus and good enough for me. I think it'll be a very
And
good
he's run
chance.
well in number 4.
That's right.
One in number 4. Right, into the Sydney Cup. Who shot the barman? Blake Shin, barrier 5.
Blake Shin, he's on the.
We should have got him a interview.
See how cheeky he is 2 minutes before the Sydney Cup.
Yeah, exactly, when he's quaking in his little boots.
Terrific chance. His form's coming right at the right part of the preparation as the distances obviously get longer. Prospect of the soft track won't worry him at all. He was beaten narrowly in the race last year when Blake Shin took off very early. Could have just waited a little bit. Instead of counting to 10, he could have counted to 20. Yeah.
No, I think he should have counted to 10 and counted to 4.
Yeah. So he's a great chance.
Yeah. Grand Marshal, last year's winner, James McDonald.
He shot the barman last year.
He did.
Just got up in the last stride. Jimmy Cassidy and James McDonald, is it a plus, is it a negative?
Don't know, but it's a big difference between those two styles.
Yeah, Jim Cassidy, just a marvel. He won the race last year. Simple as that. Held them together on a wet track. James McDonald takes over this year. He's got just as good a form coming into the race as the Barnum.
I think he's
coming through the weight for age grade. He's a top chance, and the track conditions won't worry him.
Libran, Brenton Abdullah, won his last 3.
He's won his last 3, going for a 4-timer, including in Group 1. What more can you say? You should get the distance.
So what's your order?
What's my order?
Not saying that you'll win, but I'm just saying the order of those 3 past the post.
Okay. Who shot the barman? Grand Marshal Libra. Why? Because that's the way the handicap has got him.
Oh, that's tame.
I don't know. I hope we win the race, and I hope we run second and third as well. But it's not as easy as that. There's obviously others in the race, but I couldn't be any happier with our horses' preparations coming into it.
Right, into the Coolmore Legacy. Mile, Group 1. Lady LaFay.
Needs a wet track to be competitive. She'll get that. She's well out of her grade. Big step up. But it'll come down to wet track horses if we get some more rain. And that's certainly, yeah. So she'll be hard. She's a rough chance, as simple as that.
And finally, our last run of the day. Queen Elizabeth Preferment.
I just hope the track's no worse than soft, because if it's in the heavy zone, you've got to be very cautious. He's freshened up well in that 2 weeks since winning the BMW, obviously the Australian Cup winner before that. He's in terrific form.
Can't fault him, can you?
I think 2,000 metres is his best distance. Yes, he did win 21 last start, so I think dropping back to an ideal distance is no problem at all. Hugh Bowman, the man in the lane board, and he's drawn to get a lovely run. He's drawn 4.
Wet track concern?
It is a concern, yeah. Obviously we've got Wary there, but he'd only run if he gains a start. It looks doubtful at this stage, but he is a wet tracker that would be worth following if we've got a wet track.
And that's it.
Another great day's racing. All the very best.